Dan, where do we need marshals? Just one down at the end there? All right, if I get one more marshal at the end of the straightaway, please. One more marshal. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. I wasn't here for this layout, so. What's that? All right. We good as how we have it? All right. Order's going to go Dan, Eric, Haas, Vince, Rob, and Emily. Drivers ready, marshals ready. Dan on the tone. Here we go. Eric, Haas, Vince, Rob, Emily.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
All right, 4:15 on the clock. Dan on the 1, Eric in the 2. Haas in the 3, Vince in the 4, Emily in the 5, Rob in the 6. Fast lap 12, 1:45 out of Jeppesen. 24:5:11 is the pace. Eric 23:5:09. Haas 22:5:09. Vince 21:5 flat. Emily 19:5:10. Rob 18:5:03.
Dr. Love.
Gap between 1 and 2, 1.9 seconds back now. Gap between 2 and 3, 2.3, so now 3 seconds. Gap between 3 and 4, 0.8 seconds. Between 4 and 5, 5 seconds. And between 5 and 6, about a second. So, Rob, that's going to be second place. Thank you. You do not need to let Emily by, though. She is in contention for your position right now.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen,
Haas and Vince,
Old
good
Guys
battle to
Rule,
watch on the track.
and the
Haas
Dr.
out
Love.
in the 3, Vince in the 4. Dan the 1, Eric in the 2. Vince in the 4, Rob in the 5, Emily in the 6. Fast lap still 12:145 out of Jeppesen. We got 3 minutes on the clock.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
.245 now on the clock. Jeppesen still is around. Eric now new fast lap 12 flat. Haas 12.564. Vince 12.347 fast lap. 2:30 on the clock. Jeppesen on the 1, Walzik in the 2, Haas in the 3, Vince in the 4, Emily in the 5, Rob now in the 6.
Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
Gap between 1 and 2 now 1.1 second. Gap between 2 and 3, 6 seconds. Between 3 and 4, 0.8 seconds. Everyone gapped out a minimum of a second now. Two minutes.
2 minutes left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
1:20 on the clock. No position change at the moment.
One minute left. After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love. .45 seconds left.
40 seconds on the clock. 35. Up next will be Sportsman.
30 seconds left. After 4 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen,
Chris
Old
over
Guys
there, a
Rule,
tear
and the
rolling
Dr.
down his
Love.
face, and the short course won't be running tonight. Caution up by Karen, caution up by Karen.
15 seconds
Clear.
left.
Five seconds now on the clock.
Dan Jeppesen done. The Dr. Love done. Vince Lim done. Emily Weldon done. Rob Hunter done. All drivers
right,
are
that's
finished.
a race.
Old Guys Rule done. The race is completed.
17-5 Sportsman. Looking forward, Scott, Todd, Zach, and David. Guys, keep that to yourselves at home.
Todd Murray.
There is one.
David Pyle.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're in the
Zach
two,
Marcinkiewicz.
but I can't remember.
Scott Hafner.
All right. Got checks on everyone. Let's go ahead and get them lined up on the straightaway. Order's going to go Scott, Todd, Zach, and David. Again, Scott, Todd, Zach, and David. My money's on either the car with the white wheels or the car with the yellow wheels. So, one of the four. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. Scott on the tone. Here we go. Todd. Zach. David. David looking really good out there so far. Especially that he no longer has turbo or boost in his car. Car looks a lot easier to drive now. All right, so Zach out on the 1, David in the 2, Scott in the 3, Todd in the 4.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
Can almost consider this Zach's debut buggy race. He's been running short course so much recently. Caution before Karen. Caution before Karen. Clear. All right, 4:10 on the clock. David in the 2, Todd in the 3, Scott in the 4. Gap between 1 and 2, 3.1 sec. Sorry, now 8-second gap between 1 and 2. 2-second gap
After
between 2
1 more
and
minutes
3.
left, top
And
drivers are
almost
Zach
3 seconds between 3
Marcinkiewicz,
and 4.
David Pyle, and Todd Murray.
So your leader is the gray car with yellow wheels. If he comes up on you, so I think he'll be up on David next. When he gets behind you, please let him by. 3:45 now on the clock. No, he's on Scott. Scott, when he comes up on you, please let him by. Not like that.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
These guys got nerves of tinfoil. .310 on the clock.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
.240 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 30
That's gonna
seconds,
cost you at least
the
3
top
tenths.
drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, David Pyle, and Scott
That's
Hafner.
gonna kick your ass now. 2:20 on the clock. Chris, you like Caution before Karen.
2
Caution
minutes
before
out
Karen.
of 3 minutes 1 second.
Everyone
the top
gapped
drivers
out by
are
a few
Zach
seconds here.
Marcinkiewicz, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
Still a lot of time, though. I think we need a novice mod class. I think that'd be fun. Like a sportsman mod class and a novice mod class, just because I want to see some carnage. What's that? Yeah, but it would be really entertaining for me to watch when I'm bored
After
up
3
here.
minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Zach
I want an instant
Marcinkiewicz,
replay with
David
some
Pyle,
slow-mo.
and Scott Hafner.
You know, watch the arms just kind of disintegrate off. Bearings explode. Yeah. Or mod short course would be fun. Hell, even open truck would be fun. I missed that. That was a lot of fun. Open stadium's a good time. If we had that, if we brought that
1
back,
minute
I'd run
left.
stadium again.
After 4
but
minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, David
I
Pyle,
can only do so
and
many
Scott
stock
Hafner.
classes. And I'm already running stock short course, stock buggy. I don't want a third one.
45 seconds left.
All right, 40 seconds here on the clock. Mod 4-wheel would be fun. Oh, mod short course? Oh, yeah. Kevin and I and Debrino did
30
it
seconds
last year,
left.
and that was a ton
After
of
4
fun.
minutes 32 seconds, the top
it's just
drivers
really
are
hard
Zach
on your electronics.
Marcinkiewicz, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
I drove a mod 4-wheel a couple weeks ago. That was a good time, too, but I hate working on 4 wheels.
15 seconds
And mod
left.
4-wheel is the worst of it. So I built a 4-wheel drive. I've run it one time so far, and I'm already going to take it apart. I hate it. All right, 5 seconds on the clock.
Scott Hafner done. Todd Murray done. Zach Marcinkiewicz done. All drivers are finished. David Pyle done. The race is completed.
That was actually really close by all you guys. Zach and David both on 22 lap pace, and Scott and Todd both on 21. Scott 21.5 and Todd 21.501. That was good. What? Zach? I was just complimenting people's driving, that's all. I'm allowed to be nice from time to time.
Chris Morrison.
I don't know why I'm so
Yoder.
salty today.
Seth Rhodes.
It's probably because I... Yeah.
Dion Smith. CJ Bandito. Rob Hunter.
All right, I'm going to need a couple marshals here. Todd. Okay. Todd, I need you up by me. And I think I need one more marshal in the middle. So if I get a volunteer on top. If I get one more marshal. Volunteer, anybody. All right, I just
Emily
need
Weldon.
Emily to go across the line here. And don't hit Scott. I know he's mean, but he's not that mean. All right, I got checks on everyone. Do you guys want a center marshal, or do you think you'll be all right? I can try to yell at someone if you guys want him. I know, I'm saying, do you want one, or do you want me to yell at somebody? All right, Eric will do it. All right. Order's going to go CJ, Rob, Dion, Chris, Emily, Matt, and Seth. We'll give Eric a second here, and then we will get started. All right. Drivers ready, marshals ready. CJ on the tone. Less than 5. Rob, Dion, Chris, Emily, Matt, Seth. Also, heads up, I think Dion and CJ, your transponders, I think, are mixed. Just be aware of that.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dion Smith, Rob Hunter, and CJ Bandito.
Yeah, it's definitely reading you guys backwards, I think. Maybe. I'll check in with you guys after this. All right, 4 minutes on the clock. Dion now in the 1, CJ in the 2, Robin 3, Chris in the 4, Emily in the 5, Matt in the 6,
After 1
Seth
minute
in the
left,
7.
the top drivers are Dion Smith, CJ Bandito, and Rob Hunter.
.335 on the clock. Dion the 1,
After
CJ
1
in the
minute
2,
30
Robin the
seconds,
3, Chris in the 4,
the
Emily in
top
the 5,
drivers
Matt in
are
the 6,
Dion
Seth in the
Smith,
7.
CJ Bandito, and Rob Hunter. Three minutes After left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dion Smith, CJ Bandito, and Rob Hunter.
All right, 2:45 on the clock. Gap between 1 and 2, 9.8 seconds. After that, it's all about a little bit. Everyone's about half second gapped out beyond that.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds,
Chris
the top
now up in the
drivers are
2.
Dion Smith, Chris Morrison, and CJ
The
Bandito.
2 spots will be the orange car with white wheels. Chris, the only driver I know who brings fans to his races. Two minutes on the clock.
2 minutes left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dion Smith, Chris Morrison, and CJ Bandito.
.135 on the clock.
After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dion Smith, Chris Morrison, and CJ Bandito.
All right, 1 minute on the clock. Dion on the 1, Chris in the 2,
left.
CJ in the 3,
After
Matt in the 4,
4
Emily in the
seconds,
5, Seth in the
top
6,
drivers
Rob in
are
the
Dion
7.
Smith, Chris Morrison, and CJ Bandito. .45 seconds left.
.35 seconds.
30 seconds left. After 4 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dion Smith, Chris Morrison, and CJ Bandito.
Caution before Karen, clear.
15 seconds left.
Evidently, it's hard to see that corner behind the computer. All right, 5 seconds on the clock.
Emily Weldon done. Yoder done.
Whoa
Chris
there.
Morrison done. Rob Hunter done. Seth Rhodes done.
What you doing there, Chris?
Dion
that was,
Smith done. All drivers are finished.
All right, that's a race.
CJ Bandito
Drop
done.
the cars off, get right back out to Marshall. Chris, I think we're going to have a driver's meeting about that kind of, you almost got black flag there. Ah, I'm sorry. That sucks.
The race is completed.
Alrighty. Heat 2 is stock buggies that we're looking for Dan, Eric, Haas, Todd, Vince, Chad, and Terry.
Dan Jeppesen. Old Guys Rule. Terry Brown. Todd Powell. Vince Lim.
I think you guys are Swiss. Yeah. 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 I don't know. It might just be the computer system. What I can do is I can delete both of you guys, and then next time we go through qualifying, yeah, because it checked you in, but it's like it automatically selected you guys, but for some reason when I called you out, it went backwards. Yeah, we can cross one at a time. Yeah. So I think it just the computer switched it. So yeah, I'll get you figured out.
The Dr. Love. Chad Kramer.
All right, got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed, straightaways closed. Order's going to go Dan, Eric, Haas, Todd, Vince, Chad, and Terry. Again, Dan, Eric, Haas, Todd, Vince, Chad, and Terry. If I could get a marshal at the start of the straightaway, please. Thank you, Rob. Again, order is Dan, Eric, Haas, Todd, Vince, Chad, and Terry. Drivers ready? Drivers ready. Marshals ready. Dan on the tone. In less than 5. Here we go. Eric. Haas. Todd. Vince. Chad. Terry.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers
Caution
are
at
Dan
Karen,
Jeppesen,
caution at Karen.
Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
That sounds a little crispy. All right, we have 2 tap outs already. 4 minutes on the clock. Well, I gave you 5-minute mains. You were supposed to make it through a little bit further than that.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, the Dr. Love, and Vince
You want to
Lim.
run my buggy? Okay. 3:50 on the clock. Dan on the 1, Haas on the 2, Vince the 3, Todd on the 4, Terry in the 5. You would still probably do pretty well. .330 on the clock.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Vince Lim, and Todd Powell.
All right, 3:15. Dan on the 1, Vince in the 2, Todd on the 3, Haas in the 4, Terry in the 5. Gap between 1, 2, 7.8 seconds. Gap between 2 and 3, 0.2 seconds. Between 3 and 4, 1.7 seconds. Now 2.7 seconds. Between 4 and 5, 5.6 seconds.
3 minutes after left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Vince Lim, and Todd Powell.
Caution straightaway, caution straightaway. Clear. 2:40 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Vince Lim, and the Dr. Love.
2:20.
Two minutes left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen,
1:55.
Vince Lim, and the Dr. Love.
Gap still all about the same. Dan extending his lead now to 10.4 seconds.
After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Vince Lim, and Todd Powell.
1:10 on the clock.
One minute left. After 4 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Vince Lim, and Todd Powell.
45 seconds.
45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 4 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Vince Lim, and the Dr. Love. 15 seconds left.
All right, keep going until she calls you done.
The Dr. Love done. Todd Powell done. Dan Jeppesen done. Terry Brown done. Vince Lim done. The race is
All right, how much
completed.
time do you guys want? Well, that was kind of a given. I got plenty of time, so... Well, 10 minutes? All right, we'll say we'll get started at 7:10. let's get started here. 13.5 four-wheel drive is up. So stock buggy drivers out to the track, please. Stock buggy drivers out to the track.
Emily Weldon,
What's up? 2 minutes? All right, 2-minute call, 2-minute call.
Dan Jeppesen, The Dr. Love, Vince Lim,
I need to get marshals out to the track, please. Stock buggy drivers out to the track to marshal.
Old Guys Rule,
We're going to have some overlap, so I need some volunteers for this one if I get a couple volunteers.
Rob Hunter,
All right, got checks on everyone. I need one more marshal if I get one more marshal. Thank you, Terry. Right in the middle, please. Well, if someone wants to switch with you. All right. Order's going to go Dan, Eric, Haas, Vince, Emily, and Rob. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. Dan on the tone in less than 5. Eric, Haas, Vince, Emily, Rob.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
All right, up to the first minute, we have Dan now on the 1, Eric at the 2,
After
Haas
1
in 3,
minute
caution
left,
at
top
Karen,
drivers are
caution
Dan
at Karen.
Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
All right, Dan now on the 1, Eric in the 2, Haas in 3, Vince in the 4, Emily in the 5, Rob in the 6, 3:45 now on the clock. 12 flat, fastest lap. Dan out 24:5:12, now 24:5:11. What's that?
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
All right, 3:20 on the clock.
Three minutes after left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
All right, 2:45 now on the clock. Dan on the 1, Eric in the 2, Haas in the 3, Vince in the 4, Rob in the 5, Emily in the 6, fast lap 12 flat. Gap between 1 and 2.3 seconds. Gap between 2 and 3, 6 seconds. Between 3 and 4.2 seconds. Between 4 and 5, 15.7 seconds. Between 5 and 6, 1.7 seconds.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love. Two minutes left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
.135 on the clock.
After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Vince Lim.
.115 now on the clock. Dan lead us around, Eric in the 2, Vince in the 3, Haas in the 4, Emily in the 5, Rob in the 6. Both Dan and Eric fast lap 12 flat. Vince 12.2, Haas 12.3.
After 4 minutes
Rob
2 seconds,
12.9, Emily
the top
13
drivers
flat.
are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Vince Lim.
45 seconds on the clock.
45 seconds left. .30 seconds left. After 4 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Vince Lim.
15 seconds on the clock.
15 seconds left. Dan Jeppesen done. Old Guys Rule done. The Dr. Love done. Rob Hunter done. Vince Lim done. All drivers are finished. Emily Weldon done. The race is completed.
I gave you 1 whole second. Should have been faster. All right, looking for Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. Let's get marshals out to the track.
Todd Murray, David Pyle, Scott Hafner, Zach Marcinkiewicz.
All right, got checks on everyone. Vince, I think you are that one more. Never mind, Rob, if I get you. If I get you at the end of the straightaway, please. All right. Order's going to go Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. Again, Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. All right. Drivers ready. Marshals ready. Zach on the tone. Less than 5. David. Scott. Todd. Blink and breathe. Blink and breathe. Blech. 4:35 on the clock.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are
Caution to
Scott
Karen,
Hafner,
caution to
Todd
Karen.
Murray, and David Pyle.
All right, so we got Todd out on the 1, Scott on the 2, Zach on the 3,
After
David on
1
the
minute
4.
left, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Scott Hafner, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
So far, only one moving up a spot would be Todd. 3:45 on the clock. So Todd just needs to stay on this pace for the next 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Scott Hafner, and Zach Marcinkiewicz. Three minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Scott Hafner, and Zach Marcinkiewicz. After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, Scott Hafner, and Todd Murray.
2:20 on the clock now.
Two minutes left. After 3
Well,
minutes 1 second,
caution on the roller,
the
caution
top
on the
drivers
roller.
are Zach Marcinkiewicz, Scott Hafner, and
All
Todd
clear.
Murray. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, Scott Hafner, and Todd Murray.
1:20 on the clock.
One minute left. After 4 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Zach Marcinkiewicz, Scott Hafner, and Todd Murray.
Caution on the back sweeper. Caution on the back sweeper. Clear.
45 seconds left.
Todd. Stop and go. Stop and go. You did? Okay.
30 seconds left. After 4 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Scott Hafner, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and David Pyle.
Yeah, I didn't affect anything, so.
15 seconds left. David Pyle done. Todd Murray done. Scott Hafner done. All drivers are finished. Zach Marcinkiewicz done. The race is completed.
Dion, I'll have you go across the line first. And then CJ after
Chris
him. I want to
Morrison.
make sure.
Yoder. Seth Rhodes.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's coming up as... Are you CJ or Dion? I'm CJ. You're CJ, okay. Yeah, for some reason he's coming up as you.
Rob Hunter.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, for some reason it keeps putting him as you, so I've
Dion
got that
Smith.
flipped now. So you're good to go check in. Yeah. No, I got it
Emily
flipped.
Weldon.
Yeah. I just had to make sure.
CJ Bandito.
All right, got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaway's closed. All right, order's going to go Dion, CJ, Emily, Matt, Chris, Seth, and Rob. Yeah. Yeah, so, or yeah, other way around. So CJ, you go, and then Dion goes. I'll call it out that order. All right, driver's ready. Marshall's ready. CJ on the tone. Here we go. Dion, Emily, Matt, Chris, Seth, Rob. All right, guys, it should be set in the right order now. Let me know if you have any issues, but it should be all good to go now. All right, 4:40 on the clock.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith,
All right,
and
we got
Emily
CJ
Weldon.
on the 1, Dion in the 2, Matt in the 3, Emily in the 4, Chris in the 5, Rob in the 6, Seth in the 7. Matt taking my fashion advice is there, color matching his shot caps to the new body. I like it. 4 minutes on the clock.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith, and Yoder. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith, and Yoder.
All right, 3:10 now on the clock. CJ on the 1, Dion in the 2, Matt in the 3, Chris in the 4, Emily in the 5, Rob in the 6, Seth in the 7. Everyone gapped out by at least a second or more now.
3 minutes after left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith, and Yoder. After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are CJ Bandito,
All right,
Dion
2:25
Smith,
on the
and Chris
clock.
Morrison.
Caution on the roller, caution on the roller, clear. Caution on the back sweeper, caution on the back sweeper, caution on the back sweeper, caution, continue caution, continue caution, continue caution. Clear.
Two minutes left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith, and Chris Morrison.
After 1:30 on the
3
clock.
minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith, and Chris Morrison.
Caution before Karen, caution before Karen.
One minute left. After 4 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith, and Chris Morrison. "45 seconds left.
Thirty seconds on the
30
clock.
seconds left. After 4 minutes 33 seconds, the top drivers are CJ Bandito, Dion Smith, and Chris Morrison. "15 seconds left.
Five seconds.
Rob Hunter done. Emily Weldon done. Yoder done. Chris Morrison done. Dion Smith done. CJ Bandito done. All drivers are finished. Seth Rhodes done. The race is completed.
You almost had it. You made a lot of progress up at the
The
end.
Dr. Love.
Yeah.
Old guys rule. Dan Jefferson.
He got up ahead of you.
Vince Lim.
You got up ahead. It was just a lot of both of you guys making fuck ups. And then
Chad Kramer. Todd Powell.
Because you guys, the lap pace was about the same. It was just you kept fucking up in different spots of the track.
Terry
The car
Brown.
looks good. I got checks on everyone. I need marshals out to the track. Marshals out to the track, please. Huh. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Order's going to go Dan, Vince, Haas, Todd, Terry, Eric, and Chad. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. Dan on the tone in less than 5. Here we go. Vince, Haas, Todd, Terry, Eric, Chad. All right, 4:30 on the clock. Vince out on the 1, Dan on the 2, Haas on the 3, Todd on the 4, Terry on the 5, Eric on the 6, Chad on the 7.
Dan Jefferson and the Dr. Love. After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Todd Powell, and Old Guys Rule. After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, the Dr. Love, and Vince Lim.
Caution to Chad, stay inside, clear. 3 minutes on the clock. Dan out on the 1, Haas on the 2, Vince on the 3, Chad on the 4, Terry on the 5, Eric on the 6, Todd on the 7.
3 minutes after left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, the Dr. Love, and Vince Lim.
.230 on the clock.
After
Fast
2 minutes
still
31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson.
Caution, straightaway, stay wide, stay wide after the roller, clear. Caution at the roller, clear. 2:05 now on the clock. Jefferson leading us around. Kramer the 2, Lamaco in the 3, Brown in the 4. Haas in the 5, Eric in the 6, Todd in the 7.
The top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Chad Kramer, and Vince Lim. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Vince Lim, and Terry Brown.
1:20 on the clock. Dan out in the 1. Vince in that 2 spot. Terry in the 3, Chad in the 4, Eric in the 5, Haas in the 6 now, Todd in the 7.
One minute left. After 4 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Vince Lim, and Terry Brown. .45 seconds left.
40 seconds on the clock. Eric and Terry, the battle to watch. Eric goes inside. That's what Eric up at the 3 spot.
Left. After 4 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Vince Lim,
Eric
and
now
Terry
up to the
Brown.
2, Vince in the 3. 20 seconds on the clock.
15 seconds left.
Caution after the roller. Caution after the roller.
Old Guys Rule done. Terry Brown done. Todd Powell done. Chad Kramer done. The Dr. Love done.
All right, so
Slim
we will
done.
get started here in
All
about
drivers
10
are
minutes.
finished.
So
Dan Jefferson done.
15, sure. No worries. I'm in no rush.
The race is completed.
Don't worry, Haas, I'm leaving it up for you. I'm leaving it up for you so you can look at it. You're welcome. That and I have nothing to switch it to. So that and I have nothing to switch it to. screwed something up. I'm changing the results order.
Huh?
It screwed something up. I'm changing the result, how it's sorted.
Yeah, because I was like, how did I see one?
It did not,
I know.
by a long shot.
Thanks. It's such a slump. It really pisses me off. That would bring in a lot of eyes, you know, to the track, and then obviously getting traffic to the track. Margaret worked hard to get. She's tired all along. Yeah. I mean, I'm more than I go up 3 miles these things. That's a lot. But Gary's got some pretty good motors. What do you got? You don't know the tire situation, the standard one? Yeah. Obviously, I stretch it, but
You get it figured?
Yeah. It had this preset, fucking weird.
I don't know anything about this software anymore. So.
Yeah, it must have been from the other night or something. I don't know. But whatever the preset was, it was sorting it by top 2 combined points, but it wouldn't let me do it by top qualifier, and so it was combining it, and so it was putting the 2, and I couldn't. So I got it's dirty as shit.
is that in Tucson?
So I got it figured out. I hate the software. A, it runs slow as shit, and B, it's confusing. It doesn't. Like once you get it figured out, it's pretty straightforward. But I had it pretty good, pretty memorized, and then they updated it and changed a bunch of shit. So it's not what it used to be.
So what do you? How many do you take in day?
I think 9 today. So give it an actual battle.
I think this track is best suited for 8.
I just left. Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue one way or the other.
I
You know-
figured.
you wanna see this?
Yeah, I didn't.
That's one thing I think would help is if he kind of set for club races and everything else. If there's more than 10 drivers, we take 8 in the main. Right.
Yeah, I just didn't. I was gonna do a full heat and then 4, but I was like, that's gonna feel like shit to you guys.
Right.
But I also want to run even.
But you know what I'm saying? It should just be.
Does this look right?
I know I should be 8th.
Has you in 11th.
When I calculated it, so so
Well, here has you in 9.
so the A main should be Dan, Eric,
Okay, I think I got it. This is
Terry,
right.
or Hassan, Vince, Todd.
I got Dan, Vince, Dion, CJ, Eric, Harry, Haas. That doesn't. I mean, it's going by.
So you got a sheet of paper?
Behind you.
And of some sort.
This is. Eric, where are you supposed to be sitting for stock? Okay. Okay.
Right,
Okay.
but we got to get the right people in the main, and that's where it's fucking up.
Yeah, it's putting.
I mean, try and figure it out. I'm not gonna sweat it if I'm 2 positions out of where I should.
It's yeah, it's got you in 5 right now. So.
I get just fine.
Okay.
It's just toy cars.
Okay. Alright, I think I'm just gonna run it as is, like this, because it's got everyone else for the most part is in the right spot. So. For all the others, it's fine. So. Alright, I'm just gonna run it like this because this is as close as I'm gonna get it. Okay.
I'll get it.
I think I have it pretty close to right now. Yeah, how you have it ordered is how I have it.
Well, yeah, so hold on. So it should be Dan, Vince,
Mhm.
Dion,
Mhm.
CJ,
Yep.
Eric,
Yep.
Haas or Todd. Haas and Todd.
I have Harry or Terry and Haas.
So, yeah, Terry, Haas, Todd,
Yep.
me, Chris.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And
All right.
messed up.
Love this shit.
It's either residual. Oh, it's that speed racer shit.
That's what it was.
So make sure before next week when he does.
All right, all right, all right. 13-5 four-wheel drives up looking for Dan, Eric, Vince, Haas, Rob, and Emily. I forgot. So Kevin, what happens with this is you can copy a profile to create the next round, to create whatever the next
Dan
race that's
Jeppesen.
gonna be. But if you have a bunch of presets in it, it's gonna copy all those presets over. So my assumption is Kevin had a preset
Vince
for the
Lim.
speed racer thing and just copied
Emily
and pasted
Weldon.
it. And so it fucked everything up for like regular racing. So but I don't know what the standard settings are. I'm sorry, because it's always the same. I just use the same profiles for everything.
Right.
And so, anyways, I was trying to undo that and find the right profiles. So it's just a bunch of guesswork on my end.
Old guys rule.
I don't know.
No worries.
Yeah, so it's
all on your side.
yeah, it's a except for Chad. Chad's not on my side.
Well, yeah, because you put 9 in the A main, it's usually fairly named.
I know he told me earlier he wanted 8 in the A.
He's like, phew. So good job.
All right, let's get stock drivers out to the track to Marshall against stock buggy drivers out to the track to Marshall. I need one more Marshall. I need one more Marshall at the end of the straightaway, please.
Dr.
Marshall at
Love.
the end of the straightaway. Zach, if you want to show him a cool car, show him mine. If you want to show him a good buggy, show him my car. I need Rob to go ahead and check in here. Good job, Rob. What? Really? Okay, those are the things I need to be aware of. What? And I'm not gonna pick you up on sarcasm, so.
Rob Hunter.
All right, got checks on everyone. Order's gonna go Dan, Eric, Vince, Haas, Rob, and Emily. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone in less than 5. Caution at Chad, caution at Chad, clear.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Old Guys Rule, the Dr. Love, and Rob Hunter.
All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Eric out in the 1, Haas in the 2, Dan in the 3, Emily in the 4,
After
Vince
1
in the
minute,
5,
3
Rob in the
minutes left.
6.
Top drivers are Old Guys Rule, the
Eric out
Dr. Love,
19.410,
and Dan Jefferson.
Haas 18.409, Dan 18.409, Vince 17.413, Emily 16.4 flat, Rob 16.410. Fast lap now 12.2 out of Jeppesen, 2:45 on the clock. Gap between 1 and 2, 2.9 seconds, now 3.4 seconds. Gap between 3 and 4, 1.1 seconds. Gap between 3 and 4 now goes up to almost 4 seconds. Between 4 and 5, 1 second. Between
After
5
1
and
minute,
6,
30
3.3 seconds.
The top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Dan Jefferson, and the Dr. Love.
2:25 now on the clock. $2:15. Eric leading us around. Dan in the 2, Haas in the 3, Vince in
2
the 4,
minutes
Emily in the
left.
5,
2
Rob in the
minutes, 1
6.
second. The top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Dan
1:55
Jefferson,
now on the
and
clock.
the Dr. Love.
$1:40 on the clock now. Eric out in the 1, Dan now up to the 2 spot. Haas in the 3, Vince in the 4, Emily in the 5, Rob in the 6. Caution after the AE
After
jump.
2
All
minutes,
clear.
31 seconds.
All right,
The
1:25
top
now.
drivers are Old Guys Rule, Dan Jefferson,
1 and
the
2,
Dr. Love.
3 now, all on a 19 lap pace. Vince 18.403, Emily 17.4 flat, Rob 17.407. One minute on the clock.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second. The top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Dan Jefferson, and the Dr. Love. "45 seconds left.
40 seconds.
"30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds. The top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Dan Jefferson, and the
25
Dr.
seconds
Love.
on the clock.
"15 seconds left.
That's why even though I have all the carbon fiber stuff and all the lightweight stuff, my car still weighs like 500 grams more than it should.
Dan Jefferson done.
Fast, but they're really hard to drive.
Emily Weldon done.
You're not. Yeah, so for me, I'm like, I can set a hot lap, but my consistency is like not great usually. So
Vince
I run a
Lim
heavier
done.
car 'cause it
All
increases my
drivers are
consistency.
finished. Old Guys Rule done. The Dr. Love done.
4 right now, I think, in my stock car.
Take up people out on the very first corner
The race is completed.
Yeah. Sportsman's next. Yeah. I'm gonna let those two work it out between themselves.
Todd Murray,
I wasn't gonna call shit out that
Scott
between
Hafner,
those two. I don't want to be in the middle of
David Pyle,
shitty on that one because I ended up on my lid because they all
Yeah.
crashed and I was like, oh man.
I was like,
Zach
if I called it
Marcinkiewicz,
one way or another, one of them was gonna get mad at me. So it was a lose-lose situation. I figured they'll work it out. All right, I got checks on everyone. I need marshal out to the track, please. Order's gonna go Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. Again, Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. All right, again, order Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. All right, so yeah, so what you're gonna do is when you hear the tone, you're gonna go, and then you're gonna like drive, and like yeah, you're gonna go around the corners. Yeah, jump over stuff. You got this. All right, driver's ready, marshal's ready. On the tone, less than 5.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are David Pyle, Todd Murray, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
.320 on the clock.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and David Pyle.
All right, Todd out in the 1, Zach in the 2, David in the 3, Scott in the 4. Gap between 1 and 2, 2.9 seconds. Todd looking for a little bit of redemption here after qualifying. Zach hanging on that 2 spot, Scott in the 3, David in the 4.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and Scott Hafner.
Two minutes on the clock. Todd leads around Zach in the 2, David in 3, Scott in the 4.
2 minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and David Pyle.
Caution before Karen, clear.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the
1:25
top
on the
drivers are
clock.
Todd Murray, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and Scott Hafner.
Everyone's just got to keep it together for the next minute 15.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and Scott Hafner. 45 seconds left.
All right, 35 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and Scott Hafner. 15 seconds left. Todd Murray done. Scott Hafner done. David Pyle done.
Hey Zach, your
All
food's here by
drivers
the
are
way.
finished.
Your
Zach
food's here.
Marcinkiewicz done. The race
You
is
owe some
completed.
people money.
Chris Morrison. Rob Hunter.
All right, let's go ahead and
Yoder.
get Marshall out to the track. Drivers, go ahead and get checked in.
Seth Rhodes.
Okay. Todd, what are you talking about? You're on a slump. You did just fine on that round. Ah, there you go. That always can go either way. All right, I need Emily to go across the line, and then I need one more Marshall. If I get a Marshall up by me, again, one
Emily
more
Weldon.
Marshall up by me. Order is going to go Chris, Emily, Rob, Matt, and Seth. Again, Chris, Emily, Rob, Matt, and Seth. Again, if I could get one more Marshall up by me, one more Marshall. Emily, you're in the 2 spot. Just need a Marshall, and then we get started. Awesome. Thank you, CJ. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone, less than 5. Emily and Rob chasing each other into the wall. That is... You guys can drive better than this. I don't know what you guys are doing. Caution on the straightaway, all clear. All right, guys. Deep breaths. Blink and breathe. It's not that
After
hard.
30 seconds.
All right,
The
after
top
that, we got
drivers
Chris
are
on the
Chris
1, Matt on the
Morrison,
2, Emily in the
Yoder,
3,
and
Seth
Emily
in the 4,
Weldon.
Rob in the 5. Caution on the sweeper, caution on the sweeper. Clear. All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Matt leading us around. Chris in the 2, Emily in the 3, Seth in the
After
4.
1 minute,
3 minutes
the
left.
top drivers are Yoder, Chris Morrison, and Emily Weldon.
.245 on the clock. .230.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Yoder, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison.
.2 minutes on the clock. Matt leads us around. Emily in the 2,
2 minutes left.
Chris in the 3,
The
Rob in the
top
4,
drivers
Seth
are
in the
Yoder,
5.
Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison.
Caution after the roller. Caution after the roller. Clear.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Yoder, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison.
1:20 on the clock. One 10.
Hey Dan, you want to see Terry Freight?
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Yoder, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison.
55 seconds on the clock.
I don't think the table goes as far down as I am. But I got nowhere to go but sorry, I got
It's
45 seconds left.
I understand. I also wasn't between the two of you. I'm gonna get it from whoever I don't say anything to. So it was kind of. I saw it and I'm like, do I say something or do I get yelled at by Eric or do I get yelled at by you? So
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Emily Weldon, Yoder, and Rob Hunter.
handle it, so I just let it go. So I understood that the only way to really.
15 seconds left.
I deal with the other people yelling at me like. I'm on edge about doing restarts right now. So after some recent interactions we've had about that. All right, keep going until she calls you done.
Emily Weldon done. Yoder done. Seth Rhodes done. Rob Hunter done. All drivers are finished. Chris Morrison done. The race is completed.
But then the straw was after the restart where like 3 laps into the next race and Mike had crashed and he's telling James who's in second place to pull over because he didn't see that Mike crashed and he just assumed Mike was in the lead. Yeah, that was the last straw. And what's the qualifier?
Orders Dan, Vince, Dion, CJ, Eric, Terry, Haas, Todd, and Chad.
Yeah, you're behind Terry.
Zach, people are waiting for you.
Vince
Hurry up.
Lim. Dan Jefferson. Dion Smith.
Go faster.
CJ Bandito. The Dr. Love.
See what I'm saying?
Terry Brown. Old Guys Rule.
I had to get your food for you.
Chad Kramer.
Making me work extra.
Todd
Jeez.
Powell.
Caution after the roller. Caution after the roller. Clear. I've got a special place according to the state of Oregon. All right, got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed. Straightaways closed. Order's going to go Dan, Vince, Dion, CJ, Eric, Terry, Haas, Todd, and Chad. Again, Dan, Vince, Dion, CJ, Eric, Terry, Haas, Todd, and Chad. That's fine. You could start all the way over at Chad if you wanted. I wouldn't care. All right. As long as you're behind the loop. All right. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone, less than 5. Caution on the sweeper, caution on the sweeper, caution on the sweeper. Caution before Karen, caution before Karen, clear.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Vince Lim, and Terry Brown.
.315 on the clock. Dan on the 1, Vince the 2, Terry in 3, Haas in the 4, Chad in the 5, CJ in the 6, Eric in the 7, Dion in the 8, Todd in the 9. Everyone gapped out by about a second or two. David, what
After
you driving over there?
Left, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Vince Lim, and Terry Brown.
2:35 on the clock. Dan still leading us around. Vince the 2, Terry in 3. Haas now up to the 3, Terry down to the 4. CJ now in the 4, Eric in the 5. Chad in the 6,
After
Terry
1
in the
minute
7,
30
Dion in
seconds,
the 8, Todd in
the
the 9.
top drivers are Dan
2:25
Jefferson,
now
Vince
on the
Lim,
clock.
and the Dr. Love.
Take another 15-minute break here after this.
After 2 minutes,
Caution by
the
Chad,
top
caution by
drivers are
Chad.
Dan Jefferson,
Clear.
Vince Lim, and the Dr. Love.
1:55 on the clock. Dan leads around. Vince the 2, Haas in the 3, Eric in the 4, CJ in the 5, Terry in the 6, Chad in the 7, Dion in the 8, Todd in the 9.
After 2 minutes 30 seconds,
19:405 is
the top
pace.
drivers are Dan
Vince in the
Jefferson,
2,
Vince Lim, and the Dr.
18:405.
Love.
Haas in the 3, 18:406. 120 on the clock. Zach, how'd you get him to cut it the right way
1
for
minute
you?
after 3 minutes 1 second, the top
I-
drivers are Dan Jefferson, Vince Lim, and the Dr. Love.
Were they training the new girl or something?
45 seconds left.
It's happened a bunch of times where they'll send like 2 girls down, and like the one girl, the tall one, I've seen a bunch of times, but they'll always have a new girl, and it's never the same fucking girl. I had a friend, she used to work there, and I guess the management.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Vince Lim, and the
25
Dr.
seconds
Love.
on the clock. Dan leads around. Vince in the 2, Haas in the 3, Eric in the 4, Chad in the 5, Terry in the 6, Todd in the 7, CJ in the 8, Dion in the 9.
15 seconds left.
You also will notice they frequently all have a similar vibe. Not a lot going on between them. They all kind of look.
Chad Kramer done. Vince Lim done. Terry Brown done. Todd Powell done. CJ Bandito done. Dan Jefferson done.
1, 2.
Dion
Haas, you're
Smith
still
done.
live.
Old Guys Rule done. All drivers are finished. The race is completed.
All right, we'll get started here in 15 minutes. I at least got it partially right, so I did like half of everything right this evening, so cut me some slack. It is my first day back, so I'd also like to point out that I did not create the race profile for this evening. I was already here when I got here. I'm going to have so many excuses for you this week, don't even worry about it. Oh, I know. You guys ready, or do you need some more time? You ready? All right. I don't care. That's a wonderful question. I set the quals at 5 minutes and evidently didn't carry over to the rest of it. Yeah, I hate this system. It's not intuitive and everything is wrong all the time. Yeah, Zach, I've used this system for over a year now and I'm confused every time I use it. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think you have to have an actual display on top of your car, and so it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, so whoever takes whoever out, you guys can rock paper scissors after the race to decide it. That's fine. Whatever.
Dan
Okay,
Jefferson.
whatever works for you guys. Just do it in the parking lot. All right, let's go ahead and get stock buggy drivers out to the
Emily
track
Weldon.
to Marshall. Okay, let's get anyone who's
The
sitting
Dr.
around
Love.
not doing anything out to the track to Marshall.
Old guys rule.
Okay, thank you, Todd.
Vince Lim.
I'm almost there. At least I don't have to stay till midnight, so and go home. Alrighty. Rob, are you going to make this one or you broke out? Rob. Alright, you're out. Got it. Alright. Order's going to go Dan, Eric, Vince, Haas, and Emily. Again, Dan, Eric, Vince, Haas, and Emily. Alright, I need a marshal at the... Thank you, Rob. Alright. Alright, we'll be good. Alright, driver's ready. Marshal's ready. On the tone in less than 5. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Everyone made it around the first corner. I don't know if we can do that. I think Eric was slightly off the line, so that's an automatic. All right, after the first 30 seconds, we have Dan now in the 1, Eric in the 2, Vince in 3, Haas in the 4, Emily in
After
5.
30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule, and Vince Lim.
Dan driving like he doesn't want to fight Eric in the parking lot after this. Three minutes on the clock. Dan leads around. Eric in the 2, Vince in 3, Haas in the 4, Emily in the 5.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule, and Vince Lim.
Caution straight away, caution straight away. Stay inside, clear. I noticed Chris was running oval with his short course. Caution at Karen, caution after Karen, clear. Oh, all right, let's see here. We have Eric out in the 1 now, Dan in the 2, Haas in the 3, Vince in the 4, Emily in the 5.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Dan Jefferson, and the Dr. Love. 2 minutes left.
2 minutes on the clock.
1
Eric
second.
leading us around.
The
Dan
top
2, Austin
drivers are
3,
old
Vincent
guys
4,
rule,
Emily in the 5,
Dan
gap 2 1
Jefferson
2,
and the Dr.
0.8
Love.
seconds now. Between 2 and 3, 5.2 seconds back.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are old guys rule, Dan Jefferson and the Dr. Love.
Caution straightaway, stay inside, stay inside, stay inside. Chad putting on a show for the viewers over there. Caution around Karen, caution around Karen. I didn't quite see what happened there.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, old guys
Too
rule,
busy making
and
jokes
Vince
up
Lim.
here. 50 seconds on the clock.
"45 seconds left.
Zach, can I get something for you? Okay.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, old guys rule, and Vince Lim.
I got a funny story for you later. 20 seconds. Zach.
15 seconds left.
So this race the other night, and that was a section stuff. And also, midst of everything going, she like jumps up, fucking runs out the room. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, I was like, are you okay? Did I do? She's like, no,
Dan Jefferson done. The Dr. Love done.
She's like jumped up and sprinted out.
Old guys rule done. Vince Lim done. All drivers are finished. Emily Weldon done.
All right, that's a race. Drop cars
race
off.
is
Get right
completed.
back out to Marshall. Sportsman is up. I like that you guys resolved everything from round 1.
Scott Hafner.
Yo.
Todd Murray.
So it is club racing.
David Pyle.
What happened is Kevin copied a profile from something else, and it's basically fucked my entire race schedule.
Yeah, I know you've been having difficulty.
So,
am I having another?
There is no V main. I tried to add it back in and it wouldn't let me.
Okay, better than not waiting for that then.
I'm sorry about that. I've been trying to
Zach Marcinkiewicz.
problem this whole time, so I apologize about that. All right, let's get Marshall out to the track, please. Marshall out to the track. Order's going to go Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. Again, Zach, David, Scott, and Todd. All right, driver's ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone in less than 5. Well, Todd gets lucky there. The rest of the pack bunches up.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
3:20 on the clock. .305. Todd leads round. David in 2. Zach in 3. Scott in the 4.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Todd Murray, David Pyle, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
Okay, Zach. Deep breaths. You got this. Well, we'll see if he's got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to make something happen here.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Murray, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
So Todd on the 1, David in the 2, Scott in the 3.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
You are inserting the second beat, right?
What?
You're inserting the second beat.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Murray, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner.
Yeah.
45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, David Pyle, and Scott Hafner. 15 seconds left. David Pyle done. Scott Hafner done. Zach Marcinkiewicz done. All drivers are finished. Todd Murray done.
All right, that's
The
the
race is
Drop your
completed.
cars off. Right back out to Marshall. All right, last race, 2-wheel drive stock buggy. Yeah, my apologies to the B sort drivers. I don't know what happened. The system is all sorts of jacked up right now. I can't. Emily, you can jump in. It didn't bump you, but jump in. I'll register you. Jump in. It didn't register you for some reason, but like I said, everything is all screwed up on the system right now. So
Dan Jefferson.
I have been chasing problems with whatever the
CJ
setup was for this
Bandito.
evening.
Dion Smith. Terry Brown. Vince Lim. Emily Weldon. Old Guys Rule. Chad Kramer.
All right, Marshall's out of the track, please. Marshall's out of the
Todd
track.
Pearl.
Todd, are you going to make this one? There we go. Okay. I didn't see it, Todd. Caution at Karen. Caution at Karen.
The Dr. Love.
All right. I need 2 more marshals. If I can get 2 more marshals out to the track, please. 2 more marshals. All right, no speed, no speed. Got checks on everyone. Order's going to go Dan, Vince, Dion, CJ, Eric, Terry, Haas, Todd, Chad, and Emily. I need a Marshall in the middle and Marshall up by me. If I get one more Marshall, one more Marshall. Thank you, Matt. Much appreciated. Four wheels is optional. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone in less than 5. Caution on the sweeper, caution on the sweeper. Clear. Clean start from almost everybody. Looking good.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Vince Lim.
.315 on the clock. Dan on the 1, Eric in the 2, Vince in 3, Terry in the 4, Haas in the 5, Todd in the 6, Chad in the 7, CJ in the 8, Emily in the 9, Dion in the 10. Fast lap 12, 199 out of Jeppesen. 3 minutes on the clock. Gap between 1 and 2, 3 seconds.
3 minutes after left. 1 minute, 1
Rest of the
second.
grid spaced
The
out by
top
about a
drivers
second right
are
now.
Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Vince Lim.
Eric looking to extend that lead now at 2.3 seconds between 2 and 3. Gap between 3 and 4 now half second. Between 4 and 5, half second. Battle to watch now between Haas, Todd, and Terry. Vince taps out. Caution over at Chad. Caution at Chad.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule,
So your
and Vince
leaders
Lim.
will be the yellow car, yellow and white car with yellow wheels. If he comes up on you, please let him by. Number 2 is the yellow and purple car with white wheels. So if he comes up on you, I think he's up on
2 minutes
CJ
left.
right now. Please let him
After
by.
2 minutes 2 seconds,
Thank
the
you.
top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
So Dan out in the 1, Eric in the 2, Haas in the 3, Todd in the 4, Terry in the 5, Chad in the 6, Vince in the 7, CJ in the 8, Dion in the 9, Emily in the 10.
After 2 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love.
Caution at the roller, caution at the roller, stay inside of the roller, stay inside on the roller, clear.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love. "45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 33 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and the Dr. Love. "15 seconds left.
Caution at Karen, caution at Karen.
Emily Weldon done. Terry Brown done. Dion Smith done. Dan Jefferson done. Old Guys Rule
Dan,
done.
it didn't affect your overall.
Chad Kramer done. The Dr. Love done. CJ Bandito done. All drivers are finished. Vince Lim done. The race is completed.
All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you all for coming out.